In this vlog, we will try to see the implementation of network call using provider. So I think you have gone through our previous tutorials on provider, and if not, I suggest you to go through those tutorials to get a basic knowledge on what is a provider and how we are making use of it in our Flutter application. So now we are fetching the data by making a network call, and here we are making use of a provider. So now let's get started with this tutorial. And here we are trying to add few dependencies like provider and HTTP here, and I have not specified any version for HTTP, so just specify whatever the latest available. And one more thing I would like to say is, like, we have previously done few network call tutorials in our channel, so this is the link I am providing in the description section below, and you can just try to configure them with this provider as well. So now let's start by importing material.dart, and later we'll try to specify void main. So now inside the void main, let's specify run app, and inside which we are going to specify multi-provider. So what is a multi-provider and why do we use it? I have done a detailed tutorial on this, so I suggest you to go through that particular tutorial, and here is the link in the description section below. So here we need to provide the list of providers. So for this tutorial we only have a single provider, that is change notifier provider. And so now this is of a type data here. And what is data? So now let's try to create a class data. So this extends change notifier. So this is where our provider starts. So extends change notifier. So let's import material.dart here, and now we need to create a class called data model. So let's try to create that class too, and I will explain you why we are creating this and what we will be doing with the help of this particular class file. So here is our API here. We are trying to fetch the information like user ID and title here. So now let's try to create a model class for this response. So class data model, we are going to consider ID of type integer, and what are the other fields? We have user ID and title, right? So now let's specify them as well. Final int user ID, because this is also of a type int, and the final one is string like title. And now let's try to generate a constructor here and select all this, tap on the OK. So this will create you a constructor here, and now we require these fields, so I am just enclosing them within the curly braces here, and I will add required keyword before it. Let us try to fetch the data from the API and save it to our data model here. So data model dot from JSON of map here, so string comma dynamic JSON, and now we need to return this particular data model. So here you can see now all our fields are appearing here, so we need to assign the data here. So with the help of this particular JSON object here, you need to fetch ID. So not directly, you need to specify ID. So what is this ID and why we are making use of JSON here? So now let's try to, here if you try to observe this, ID will be having, here we are having one value assigned to ID here, and for user ID also we have one, and for title we have this particular text here. So now making use of the JSON, we are specifying the key value, that is id here. So we are specifying the key value id so that we can fetch the value 1. And for the user id also, let's do the same, json, and inside which we are going to specify user id. So this is our key here. And also don't forget to specify how it is exactly. If I is capital here, you need to specify it as capital only, don't specify it as a small I. And for the title also, let's specify json and title here. So now here's our data model class, and this we need to make use of here in our data class. So now let's specify data model and create an object for it and specify late initialization. So now let's try to create a method called fetch data, and this will be of the type asynchronous and also provide context. So we are providing context from our main class file. So from here we'll be providing the context, so it will be accepted here and will be utilized inside this particular method now. So let's try to initialize this data model here. Await. So here you need to create a method like get data and provide the context, and now finally specify notify listeners here. So what is get data and from where we are getting this? So don't worry, we will be dealing with get data in our main.dart file. So for now let's specify the name of the method to be get data here and notify listeners. So with the help of this particular method, we will be notifying the observers that we have fetched the information and we are trying to provide the information so that they will try to observe it and display the same onto the screen. So now let's try to get back to our coding here in the main.dart file. So we have created data and data model. So let's try to import this data.dart here, and here we need to specify data file. So we are trying to fetch the information by making use of this data class, so which we have created here, which is extending a change notifier, and we will try to create the get data method here. So before trying to create the get data method, so now let us try to create a basic structure for our application. So we need to specify a child also here. So my app is the child class. So let's try to create a stateless widget that is my app, and here instead of returning a container, we will be returning material app here, and inside which specify home, and let's try to create a class home here, and this time we are going to create a stateful widget that is home. So instead of container, let us try to return a scaffold here. So the scaffold will form the basic skeleton for our application. So here let us try to specify the title with the help of a text widget, provider network call, and try to specify body here. So inside the body we are going to consider a container. So the container will have a single child that is column here, and also instead of a column let's try to have a text widget directly, and here we will be trying to display the data which we are getting from the API. So let's close the container as well. So now let's try to create the method get data here. So this method is for making a network call. So we are making use of future of type data model. So let's specify get data, and this is of a type asynchronous. Also we have specified context to this particular method. So now let's make use of this here context. So now let's initialize the data model here, and again it's a late initialization, so let's specify data model. So now let us try to call the API. So let's make use of a try catch block here so that if there is anything error we need to handle it properly. So try and catch block. So now we will be making use of the HTTP library and specify response equal to await. So we need to wait till we fetch the data. And in this particular tutorial we are going to deal with the get method. So we are trying to fetch the data, and in coming tutorials we will be trying to see post, delete and update as well. Within the get here you need to specify the URL. So the URL is this one, so let's copy this and add it over here. And you can't directly provide the URL straight away, so URI dot parse, and within this you can provide the URL here so that it will parse the string. And also here you are getting an undefined name HTTP, so you need to import this. So for which, let's go back to our import section, and here import package HTTP here you can see, and let's specify it as HTTP so that we can use HTTP and make use of the methods like get, post, update and so on. So here you are still seeing an error, and this is, we need to return data model here. So that is what the error you are showing there. And here it's showing that the local variable data model is definitely unassigned. Yes, not assigned yet, so we need to assign the information to this particular data model here. So first of all we need to check whether the response is success or not. So response dot status code, so with the help of the status code we can say whether the API call is success or not. So if it is 200, it's been that the API call is now successful and we have got the response. So success means sometimes it may even fail, so then you will receive another status code like 400, and remaining there are few status code. I will be providing you the information in our website. So for now let us try to check the status code is 200 or not. So yes, if it is 200 it's success. So now try to fetch the information from the API. So final data equal to json dot decode, and here we need to make use of the response and try to fetch the body here. And now try to import JSON here dot convert. We need to assign the information to this particular data model here. So data model equal to data model from JSON, and here you need to specify data here. So that's it, we have fetched the information and tried to set it to this particular data model here. And what if we have received a different status code other than 200? So other than 200, if you received any other status code, it might be in result of a failure, or you have not fetched the information which you required. So here I am just trying to print information like something went wrong, and you can handle this particular block as you wish here. So you can just display an alert box, or you can just move to another screen. And finally if there is an error, so try to print the error onto the screen so that you can read what went wrong. So here just I'm trying to print it here. So yes, this is the method by using which we'll try to fetch the information from this particular API here. And now we are all good to go, but yeah, but we need to make the API call, right? So we have specified the method and everything is good, but we need to call the API. So for which, let us try to create an init state here, and let's try to call the API. So now let's make use of provider of data and specify the context here dot comma listen false. So why we are specifying listen false, I have explained in the previous tutorial, so you can just go through that particular tutorial, know the exact usage of listen to be false here. And with the help of data, let's try to call fetch data here by providing the context. So this will make the API call on the app startup. So we have provided in the init state. And now if you don't want to make the API call on the app startup, that is the initialization of the application, so you can just specify a button inside the container, and in on press you can specify this particular information. So whenever your user taps on a button, then the network call will be done and the information will be populated onto the screen. And okay, here we have made a network call, and with the help of the data class here we are trying to call get data and import the method over here. So we are trying to call the method get data here, and what will the get data do is like it will pass this particular API and fetch the data, and this particular data is being stored with the help of a data model here. So this is our data model class, and with the help of a data model class we are trying to fetch the information based on the keys here. So these are the keys which we are getting from the API. So based on the keys we are storing the values, and this particular values we are trying to populate onto our screen here. Once the API call is made, then it will be calling this notify listeners here. So whenever we try to call the notify listeners, so we need to listen to the data, right? So now let's try to listen to the data. So declare data equal to provider. So now we are trying to listen to the data of type data here and specify the context. So now with the help of this particular data here we can handle data model dot. So here we have title, user ID and ID. So let's try to print title onto the screen, and now try to run this particular code and see the output. So here we have received the information and it is printed onto our screen here. So but it is to the top left, and you can just make it to the center by wrapping it with center, and we have got the exact information that is there in our API. So just you can compare it here. So this is a particular information we have got from this API. So this is how we can make a network call by making use of a provider, and the code for this tutorial is available in the description section below. And if you are having any queries, do let me know in the comment section below. And if you like this tutorial, do like, share and subscribe to our channel for more interesting content on Flutter.